Hello, welcome to Squishy Vision, where I'm about to react to. Oh, come on. Why are you doing it now? Silly bean. Where's my thing gone? Hello, welcome to Squishy Vision, where I'm about to react to your friend neighborhood Spider-Man episodes 3, 4, and 5. Secret Identity Crisis, hitting the big time, and Unicorn Unleashed. I prompted this third crash at a annoying time. I don't know what it is that keeps doing it. Actually, I should probably have a quick look into my path. GPU settings if I can. This would seem to suggest it had drops recently. I don't know. Hard to tell. Okay, well that's a problem for another day. Yeah, sorry. I got distracted. Yeah. Show continues. To be strong, I'm somewhat actually more invested in the social issues that the show is exploring around Lonnie, having this fairly okay, if not impoverished life, and it being dragged into. I mean, the commentary is there. The idea that it doesn't matter kind of what your attitudes in life are, what your kind of the fact that people get drawn into crime, pushed to crime for various reasons, and it's got, if you're coming from a family that's more impoverished, then you're more likely to be kind of pushed into that without really kind of wanting to, and that's kind of what happened with Lonnie with the fact that his kid brother's got into trouble, and because of that he now has to join a gang, and everything's going well for him. He's doing well at school, he's clever, he's in the high school sports team, but misfortune can arise, and I'm very much invested in that kind of social commentary that's apparent there. I do like the bit when his mum is like, "Oh, I saw a cop coming with the little brother," and she doesn't know whether to be kind of relieved or even more scared. And I'm like, yes, like keep saying ACAB. This is obviously tragic, and I'm very much kind of hoping that we do get. Well, I am / was hoping we would end up with a good ending for the character, but I hadn't realised because the comic book law I have didn't quite go that deep. I didn't realise that the real name of Tombstone is Lonnie, and this character is obviously Tombstone, and I know who Tombstone is. A villain. They're in Spider-Verse and also from the first Spider-Man game. So maybe the tragedy will persist. Sorry, it is 2:15 in the morning and I'm tired. It reminds me a lot actually of the character in the new one of the Batman animated show. I can't remember which one it was now. It might be the new Batman Adventures. Or it might be the Batman. I think it is the Batman. It's the one that's not a continuation of the animated series. It's the one that's after that with the Batmans with the extra pointy ears. And I think we feature like a new iteration of Clayface, and it's one who used to be a cop, and we get to know him for a good while, and then he ends up becoming Clayface, kind of like that. We get more ties that this is basically a more bigger confirmation that this is actually a parallel version of the 1999. Obviously in the 1999 universe, by this point Spider-Man would have been picked up by Tony Stark and taken to Germany to fight in Civil War. That doesn't happen, but we still get acknowledgement of it. The Civil War, the Scrubby Accords are all happening now. They get mentioned, they're part of the plot. Or we see photos, we see images of the Germany airport battle. Basically the only thing that's well, not only thing, but the big difference is obviously that Spider-Man wasn't picked up by Tony Stark, and that Osborn's a bigger factor here. We don't know if Osborn's really a thing in the 1999 universe because it's been brought up, and it'd be a bit weird now. Be a bit weird now to bring them up after we've dealt with the original Osborn, but perhaps not. I don't know. The original. I mean, the Tobey Maguire Osborn. But we also get like Otto Octavius appear as well. So it would seem to suggest, I mean, I don't know. Well, it's not like a Star Trek Divergent thing where everything that happened in the Kelvin universe also follows from Enterprise, because the divergence happened in Star Trek 2009 film was post-Enterprise. The way that multiverse happens in the comics is that it can still be like a parallel, identical universe, but several things have happened differently. So it doesn't necessarily mean.
Detected at the front door.
Alexa, volume 0. Forgot to mute him. Yeah, so we don't know if that's confirmation that Otto Octavius exists in 19999, but it's interesting to kind of consider. Yeah, much like I guess we're definitely throwing in like a lot of different kind of like references to comics. So Otto Octavius appears. The character, but at this point, the side character, not the focus of the episode. They're building that kind of background thing. I actually did this scan of Wikipedia article, and pretty much every single character in this show is kind of similar to the comics. I hadn't realized that Nico was actually Wiccan, or one of the Wiccans from Runaways, one of the Marvel shows I haven't actually got a chance to watch yet. As well as obviously realizing that Lonnie was Tombstone. Everyone who was one of the interns is somebody, I think, apart from perhaps the Wakandan, who is perhaps the more original character. Actually, no, I think she is in the comics, but she's very like kind of, well, so small that she barely gets like a sentence in the Wikipedia about her. I do like don't know how I feel about the prolonged testing of new, very much not Spider-Man suits, and then finally moving back to a Spider-Man suit that's majority white. Probably my least favorite part of this kind of trilogy of episodes. Nothing against it. It just, yeah, it was probably the most gimmicky part of it. I also want to know. Well, certainly, I think Osborn Safari's marketing department, if also his data analysts, if all of those suits allegedly tested well with the Spider-Man's demographic, because clearly no one liked them. So where were they getting that data from? Because that's complete bull. And perhaps anyone could have told you that. But it had a nice kind of message to it. And then we end the episode with Harry in this universe knowing that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. In fact, actually knowing Spider-Man before they knew Peter Parker. Usually it's the other way around. Usually because Harry's a school friend of Peter's. Whereas here, they met Spider-Man first. They didn't actually know who Peter Parker is. So that's an interesting dynamic. If you learn someone's secret identity, but you don't actually know who they are. And you become friends with them both at the same time. And so I guess that kind of avoids all that kind of conflict there. The action sequences still continue to be animated very well. Even like, I like the bit where we cross-cut between Spider-Man fighting the Unicorn and the 110s and Scorpions fighting each other, and that was pretty fun to watch. But even the fight with two of our characters kind of blocked quite well, blocked interesting. Like, doing fights in animations is hard. On that note, I'm really happy to say that Rooster Teeth is back, because I cried when Rooster Teeth got like shut down, and it's back, and Rooster Teeth does like animated fight scenes so well. But that's a tangent. Yeah, the show does action sequences quite well. I think actually better than anything that I've seen in What If. A lot of the action bits in What If I got kind of bored in, because they were, I don't know, they didn't grab me with as much attention. But this show, Spider-Man, in case you were confused what I was talking about. Sorry, it is like literally 2:20 in the morning. I should be asleep. I've got work in 8 hours. I've got to be at work in 8 hours. I've got to be up in 6. I just want to go to bed, rather than badly react to an episode. But like when Simon fought against the people with the gauntlets and the leg things, Wow, I'm doing so bad. Trousers, shoes. That was fun to watch, like the different ways they used to kind of set around it. The balance as well. So you never felt like Spider-Man was being like whomped by people who like severely underclassed him, because you got to remember Spider-Man is this really like powerful superhero, but also very inexperienced, and they're balancing a lot of things as well. So they've got a harder job. As people pointed out, they get distracted very easily by having to go protect civilians. So the whole kind of them being whooped, but not because it's their fault, and them just kind of like being like, eh, but like also like something. It's a nice balance. I think they do it very well. The point I'm trying to make, if you can catch it, is that they're getting this nice balance between having a threat on Spider-Man without undermining the strength of Spider-Man. We are getting a bit more of Peter Parker's kind of character. I do like that they're much more shy and bumbly and like awkward, whereas Spider-Man is more confident. That's always like a key point of the character, that Peter is always more confident as, or at least a younger Peter is always more confident as Spider-Man, but really awkward as Peter Parker. So I'm glad that they kind of capture that element in the show. I still think Nico is being like really unfair for a 15-year-old as well. Like, be a little bit less obsessed with your friend. They've got a new internship. Let them cut them some slack. You know, I mean, it's not implied that Peter's been flaky before, even though they've been Spider-Man the entire time they've known Nico. It seems to suggest that this is a relatively new thing. In which case, like, just chill a bit. You know, with the whole expecting them to be around all the time. But I guess, I don't know, maybe that's teens for you. I wasn't like that as a teen, but I didn't have anyone to be like that around, so maybe I would have been like that. Okay, I think I've made some fairly good, strong assessments, and my viewer count is dwindling, so that's probably a reason to stop while I'm ahead. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I didn't realize they were dropping these episodes quite on a really weird basis. So they dropped the first 2 last week. They dropped 3 today. They're gonna drop 2, 3. Where was it gone? I've closed it. They're dropping like a few next week and a few week after, and then that's it. Which, fine. I wonder at this point, do you just make the episodes an hour and a half? I guess you want people to like not feel like they want to commit to an hour and a half. I watch them all in one go. I realize that most people actually just kind of don't watch TV that way. So yeah. Okay. Goodbye. Get out of my house.